Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish, they're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam! Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to Kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Well, hello everyone. This is Silverline's Wednesday Wham, and we have our usual threesome here. We have Martin Mertonen. Sorry about that. Just Martin.
And Barb Cowber, and Rob Davis.
How can you mangle Rob Davis?
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to mangle up such an Anglo-Saxon name. Yeah.
Davis.
So, hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting few days. We're up to our eyebrows in snow. How about you, Martin? You're in Canada.
Yeah, we had a very peculiar winter so far. We had very, very little snow all the way up until Christmas Eve, Christmas Day-ish. Then we got a little bit of snow, and then there was still no snow, and then we finally got our first major snowfall like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah,
so
we did too. I'm in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So
I'm in misery, and we got some snow here too. So
yeah. Misery, man. Yeah. Usually we're up to our knees in snow by now, and we're now up to our little above our ankles, but it all melted today.
We're supposed to get another 3 inches here tomorrow or Friday, so it's going to get a little deeper here. Yeah.
Yep. And since it's the end of the year and I'm the CFO of Silverline, I am neck deep in accounting.
Bookkeeping. Yep.
Bookkeeping.
Yeah, I've already done some of that for Airship 27. That's my job there. So that's always fun, isn't it?
Yes. Well, tonight we are going to have an exciting third session of critiquing our own artwork, which everybody loves, right? Right? Sure.
Yeah,
We're
right.
going to critique Silverline Covers. So, and this one, the first one I'm going to bring up at just stage. Here we go.
So I'm going to have to, I'll have to pay attention now.
Yes, you're going to have to pay attention. This is from Bay.
Bear.
Bea.
Bay?
Bea.
Yeah.
Bea.
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 Got it.
Yeah.
At least that's how I figure it is. It's because it's bear told
Yeah,
by,
Bea.
it's said by a little person. Yes. Bea. It's a Bea.
The one thing that Haley really did a good job of on this was she kept in mind that there was going to be a logo at the top. And I swear I had the one with the logo and I don't know what happened to it, but how she left plenty of room at the top for the title, the logos, and everything else. That's a major. Oh, that's Dean Zachary that did this cover.
Okay. Yay, Dean.
He's an old pro about figuring out how to do good covers, and leaving plenty of room for the name at the top. Martin, do you have anything that you would want to say about
he
that?
also included the bleed, which means he's going to crop it right so that the things get cropped correctly. So that's what I can see on this cover. The placement is good. I don't know.
I like the fact that he's cocked it just a little bit, because that gives it a little more drama.
Yeah.
And then with those trees, the trees kind of pull you down into the image.
Yeah.
So it's not quite a triangle. A lot of times a triangle is one of the better compositional shapes when especially if you're doing a cover. A triangle is a very good shape. Any kind of geometric shape is really good, but he's done a very good job of pulling your eye where it needs to go. Even if that logo's on there, you're still going to get some of that where you're being pulled down into the lower portion of the picture.
Yep. So so he's using curvilinear perspective, which is a fun perspective to use.
Yeah.
And I think if you want to add dynamics to your cover, that is one way to definitely go. So is it okay for me to make additional comments, or?
Yeah,
yes, please.
Okay,
we got to fill an hour, man. Go.
All right. So the only thing that is striking me is a little bit where I would tweak a little bit would be maybe the tiger colors just a touch, because he's kind of blending into the background.
Yeah.
So I would maybe pop up that orange to be a contrast against the green, and the blue and the orange seem to be too similar in hue.
Oh, so, there it is.
There it is. I finally found it.
Yeah, good. But compositionally, the whole thing works very well.
Yeah, I think the colors need to be just a little brighter on everyone. To be honest, leave the background as it is.
Yeah,
but
just
pop those colors a little more in the foreground.
In the front.
That's the only thing I see. I mean, this works. It works just fine.
Oh yeah, and the title really pops on this with the red.
That red.
Yeah, totally.
I absolutely love your comment, Rob, about how it's slightly tilted, so it adds some movement.
Yeah, it's just slightly skewed. Yep. Slightly.
Yep. So it's not static.
Right.
Yep.
It puts you slightly off balance, which gives it motion.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to use that more often than I do. I do a lot of static shots, but I do try to remember to skew it, even if it's just barely. It will add some dynamism to the image.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to move on here.
And I will make one comment that the logo on this book, the treatment of the logo is very, very, very well done.
Yeah,
so, I really like it.
Yeah, it has kind of a fun, bouncy look to it. Yep.
Yep.
Right. And again, there was plenty of room left for it, which is really key in a good cover. You get everything that you need to in a cover, plus you leave room for the logo.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
There you
this, Yeah, this is one of the covers for Cat and Mouse. And I'm going to start this one off. Obviously, I love Cat and Mouse because I inked all 4 issues. You can see my name up there. I did not work on this cover. It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little too saturated.
Yeah.
With
I would
red
tend to
because
agree.
she doesn't pop enough.
Right. She should pop. Yeah.
She should pop, but it's very dynamic and dramatic and a lot of motion. So you're kind of sucked in. She's placed really well with the characters.
Yeah. It
with the
looks like
characters
they
around
kind
her.
of desaturated the blacks in the background to
Yeah.
try and make her pop a little, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah.
For my taste. That and the deep the colors are a little too dark on her shape. So I'm not sure, not knowing color theory as well as I should. I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe a blue or something to contrast with that orange and yellowish in the background might have helped her pop a little more.
Yep.
You know, going with a complementary color.
Yeah. So from a color theory perspective on this one, they're following good rules, as in using what's called using the base color to shine through. And so the base color is shining through very well, and it's coming through, but it's almost too much. And so when you do it too much, and this is something that I always fight with when I'm coloring, is the colors then start blending into the background, and so then
yes,
then
that's
you have
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So the colors end up blending into the background too much, and then you're not seeing any distinction between the foreground and the background, or between the characters and the stuff behind them. So, but they're doing the color theory right, in the sense that, oh yeah, we need to have the base color come through, and so if you ever want to keep your colors unified, so one of the things that I always do is I always pick a color, and like, let's say it's a yellow, and I'm saying, okay, this yellow is my base color, and I always tint my colors with that one color. And then once the color changes just a little bit, I know that the color has took, and then it just unifies the whole.
Okay.
So they've done that here, just a little too much, but it's a great dynamic cover.
I like the chaos in the background because it looks very explosive. It's like there's a lot of action in the background, and she's concentrated in the front. So there's the contrast between the body language of the background and the foreground, which works really well for me. And
did you guys notice the placement of Cat and Mouse? The elbow on Cat is in front of the letters, and the arm of the Widowmaker, hers is in front of the M, but her hair is behind. I think that's brilliant, because if they would have left the hair as is, it would have obscured too much of the logo. So they set the M right on her shoulders. And I think that is awesome.
Yeah. I think I would like to move the word balloons just a little bit, but now I'm picking nits.
and obviously the yellow of the Cat and Mouse jumps out, which is good.
Yeah, pops out. And I love that logo. So very good. So
all righty.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. Yep.
Cape Down.
Here. Hey, Martin, can you handle the comments since I'm doing the... Did somebody just try to pop in here?
Rob, did we lose?
Yeah, you lost me. I got a phone call and it bumped me out. So
okay.
Since my AirPods go, they jumped over to the phone, and then my screen went black. So I had to come out and go back in. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, Royal Airship says that Dean's the goat. That was back on Bear. Sorry about that. Hey, Royal Airships, welcome to the party. And Thomas Floramonte is doing his drive-by by the looks of it, and he says Dean looks like a goat. hey, now.
Now who's
All
misbehaving?
Right. And
Santa's keeping track already.
And Madness Comic Network says, "Hey yo." So,
hi Pops.
Hey Pops. Yeah.
Yep.
So anybody out there in the Wednesday night Wham Land, if you have comments or suggestions, please by all means throw them in. Oh, Wayne Klingman, welcome. Hi y'all. All right, Cape Town.
Yep. Thank you, Martin, because I have too much on my screen to be able to see the comments. So
yeah, no problem.
All right, Rob, you want to open this one?
Yeah. Let me zoom in here. I'm on my iPad, so I can get my fingers on here and kind of zoom in and take a better look at this. This is one of those times where the artist didn't leave room for the logo at the top, but since it's still readable, even with the character overlapped, it works. So
you can tell what it says.
You can tell what it says, and that's the key when you're going to have something like that happen, is that the logo is still legible. You can actually read what it says. So this is something we did mention that earlier, if I remember right, is that always leave some room at the top for that logo, and he's done it. He's done this in a fashion where the logo is still readable. Perfect.
And I have fixed covers. I have fixed covers before where I have moved the entire cover down to cut off a little from the bottom, or flipped it. Now, if this would have been flipped the other way, his head would have covered the C. But
which would made it harder to read. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if this was the original placement.
Yeah. I know you inked a cover of mine in which I didn't leave enough room at the top, and you pulled everything down and filled in at the top, which
I did.
And that was my bad, and you're good. So when I saw it, I went, "Thanks, she saved me." So
that's why they pay me the big bucks. Huh?
That's right. That's right. They're not more of them; they're just bigger.
Yeah. So I don't know if this was the original placement or if they flipped this, but it turned out that having this guy on the right side worked.
This character can be flipped too. He's symmetrical, so at least he looks like he is. I don't know if that big thing on his shoulder there is on both sides or not.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so he is symmetrical, so that makes it easy to flop him if you need to. So I'd say this cover is a little dark, but the colorist has kind of fixed that with the primary colors that he's used, and the colors kind of pop to offset the fact that there's an awful lot of black on this cover, but that makes it all pop. So I think the red
on his uniform makes the black outfit pop, and with the bright colors in the background, it pulls it all together.
Yeah, there's a good contrast there. Yeah.
Oh, hang on! I just noticed. Is that the moon? Is that a moon in the top left corner?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Just noticed that.
So, orange moon, but yeah.
Okay, so one interesting comment that I'll make here. I have the actual cover in my hand. In the image on screen, they're slightly different because the cover that I have. I don't know. Am I moving? Is my screen?
No.
I look like I'm frozen.
No, nothing's. Yeah.
All right.
Nothing's happening.
So my cover, the fingers are chopped off. So if you see the cover, right at the bottom. So if the cover on the screen, you can see some of his fingers, but my actual print issue, the fingers got chopped off. So
that's something
this is one of those scenarios where you might want to pull the character up just a little bit so you can get everything in.
The other option is to shrink the whole thing just slightly and then fill in around the edges.
Right. And so the only other commentary that I would make is his arm that's going back is too much in line with the knee. So maybe tilting it up on like maybe 30 degrees to cross the knee might just add a little bit more dynamics to the image. It's a subtle thing, but
I think that's nitpicking, but that would be works. Yeah, but you make a point. But I've got a sheet of Silverline. I printed this out on some cardstock I have. The Silverline paper. I probably can't see it at all, but there's little blue lines. You see those? That indicates on the paper where the bleed is supposed to be. So the double line there at the bottom. Everything below that upper part of that double line will be printed, but at the same time, sometimes the print, when they cut the cover, when they cut the book, sometimes the cutter will be slightly off, so it might cut further in. So if you got anything important, you got to keep it back away from that top cut line, and usually with at least 0.125 inches away from that if you can, just to keep anything from disappearing.
Yeah, I just had to drop my resolution.
All right.
All right.
Next one is one of my covers, Divinity covers, and
it's terrible.
Well, I only inked it. Divinity #1, I did not color. I took over coloring as of issue #2. And while I love the setup of this cover, very much centered the main character, I wasn't too fond of the skin colors. I think Divinity's too orange, and I think the two background characters fade too much into the background. But I love the construction of it, and it's got a kind of a pyramid type of thing going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The triangle, like I was saying earlier.
Yep.
The triangle shape. Yep.
Very dynamic composition.
And it's skewed again, you'll note.
Yes.
It's turned slightly.
Slightly off balance.
Mm-hmm. So we were talking about this before we jumped on, and I'm going to throw in the positive that I really like the fact that this was done with marker, and that there was you can see the texture coming through. So yes. I appreciated that a lot, because you don't see a lot of comics done that way these days. So I kind of liked it.
It's a very boutique look, and I love the. I don't know if you can see my pointer here, but I love the textures on the buildings behind. I like everything except for the skin tones. That was my only critique, was the skin tones, because I liked everything else.
I would have imported it into Photoshop and tweaked it.
I'm curious. I'm curious if the did they colored it by hand with marker and then they scanned it in?
Yes.
And then I'm wondering if because I also work in print, or have worked in print, I'm also wondering if sometimes what happens is when you send the file straight up and you send it to the printer, what happens is the printer settings sometimes override the natural colors.
Yes.
So and a lot of people don't realize that. So what you do is you make your image, and on your screen it looks absolutely perfect and everything, and then this is why you do proofs, people. You get a proof. The proof comes back to you, and you look at it, and you're like, "Whoa, that's way too red," or "Whoa, that's way too blue," or "Whoa, what's going on?" And you find out that the printer itself has certain settings that this is what happens if you do it. Yeah, or RGB, or CMYK.
Well, printers are CMYK, and I color in RBG on my
RGB,
pad, but Kablam converts it to CMYK, and it's really close. But if you're working physically, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah. So there's sometimes there's a huge color shift in the RGB to the CMYK, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, I've had to battle that many a time at age of 27. Is that because you work in RGB, and then it gets converted over to CMYK, and about 60% of the time it's fine, but every once in a while it skews some of the colors.
Right.
I had to tweak one cover. It took me hours to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could see when as soon as it shifted over to CMYK, the whole as they call it, the gamut, the group of colors just completely shifted away from what the artist had done. So yeah.
So I'm just curious. Go ahead.
We have no idea how scanning in marker colors is going to convert to CMYK.
Yeah. Well, and if you, depending on your scanner, sometimes the settings on your scanner will shift the colors blue, or I mean, I have to adjust mine because it shifts everything just a little bluer than the actual color. So when I scan color,
What were you going to say, Martin?
Oh yeah, so I was just saying, like, so in this situation, we're not sure if the printer color itself is affecting the final output as well. So that could be happening. So there's a tinting that's happening in this, and I'm wondering if the color shift affected the output.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
I do love how the marker, however, made these subtle shift in tones in the concrete, which makes it look so much more real than you could get digitally.
Yep.
Well, although they do make there are brushes you could buy for like Photoshop or Procreate that will imitate that, but it's still not as organic as the real thing is.
I've started using some watercolor brushes in some of my Procreate coloring just to get this kind of effect.
Yeah. I'm going to apply that to the new issue of Wolf Hunter, more of a watercolor approach. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. So, I'm excited. Kalis! Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, the best dad comic ever. Get it. I love this book. This is a great book.
It's available in the Diamond catalog right now.
Right now.
Absolutely get it.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Thomas has made a comment about the colors on the, he says most books don't have their monitors calibrated.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm going to make one comment here, Thomas. I looked into the calibration of stuff and found out that after you calibrate, it still doesn't matter.
So have I. I've checked into it too. My iMac is really pretty good.
Yeah,
I've been really pleased. I've been very, very pleased with the colors that I upload from my Procreate on my iPad is almost perfect when it's been printed out by Kablam. So really, really close.
Yeah.
So, and I work in RBG, so even converting to CMYK, it comes pretty darn near perfect. So I think a lot depends. I know this was scanned in, and I know whose scanner it was scanned in on too, but I can't say that. So it's entirely possible. Not Kalis, I meant Divinity. But let's talk about Kalis now.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it, Martin.
Well, if you want drama, this has got drama. So
yeah, and it's subtle.
Yeah,
because I just zoomed in on this, and just to the
oh my god,
there's a face in there.
Yes, this is the first time I've ever noticed that.
Me too. It looks like maybe there's a hand off here to the left.
Right there.
Yeah, he's climbing out of this crater. Yeah, that's very subtle. Wow.
Yeah, it might be a bit too subtle, right? So
I've seen this cover many times, but somehow
seeing
it here and zooming in, I went, "Oh wow!"
Yeah.
I mean, it works. It works both ways. So yeah.
No, I think
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think it could be a little bit pop out a little bit more.
There's his fingers right there.
Yeah,
yes,
but you don't notice those right away either, though.
No. So I wonder if that was intentional or not.
Yeah. No, it is interesting because his hair, like if you see the print cover,
yeah,
it's not as obvious in the picture on the screen, but in the print cover, his hair blends right into the fire. So that hiddenness might be intentional.
I think it is from the look of it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
That's pretty wild that I have
so
never
I'm going to say
that before.
Yeah, I'm going to say this: the logo is, I think, absolutely perfect. The placement is perfect. So
the design of it is perfect.
Yeah. So
being real thin like that leaves a lot more room for the artist to work with.
Yes.
And Roland is real good about giving cover artists the logos themselves so you can see how much room they take up. So I know that because I've done some covers for him, and it's very, very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
There's a nice contrast between the black and blue background and the orange and brown foreground. Very nice contrast.
Yeah, it's not a very deep palette. It's mostly kind of browns, oranges, and that blue. So it's not quite monochromatic, but it's real close. But that
once
blue
again
makes it pop.
Yeah, I'm wondering
Rob,
go ahead.
Once again, Rob, the composition is skewed.
Yep.
And it makes it more dynamic.
So I'm curious.
Ever so slightly, and then that sign being skewed helps even more.
Yeah. Now, do you think that sign could be a little bit more popped out? Or do you think that's fine?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it could be, but I think that's just about right. I think the colors did okay by this cover.
Yeah.
If I think the subtlety is the point.
Yeah.
I think subtlety is the point, and you have to really dig into this cover to get everything. Like we said, I did not know that there was that face coming up out of the crater.
Yeah.
And tonight is the first time I've noticed that.
I've read this issue too, and I never noticed that on the cover.
Wow.
Do we have issue 2 cover on this one as well?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. No, not issue 2, not issue 3. Maybe it's your cover that you did, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah. The subtlety on that one. There's a guy falling in the background, up in the sky.
Yeah, we don't have it in this group. All righty.
Because I've actually had to point that out.
Yeah. He's very small in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is there.
All right.
Yeah,
well, here's a cover that pops.
Yes, this is a Stephen Butler cover, and he knows what he's doing. He's an old pro, so he knows how to set this up. And with the slash of the sword right across the bottom of the logo, I think that's dynamic and dramatic pose. And the colors very much pop.
Yeah.
So the the composition is focused. So you got the foreground rock in the bottom left. You got the rock that he's standing on. You don't have too much noise.
You got a pyramid thing going.
Yeah,
it's that triangle again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one works quite well.
This triangle right here.
Yeah.
See? With the shield and everything. Yeah, that's the stereotypical triangle that a lot of artists strive for on covers. And it's bright colors in the background as opposed to earthy colors in front. I think Jeremy did it. It works. Yeah. I think Jeremy
it really works.
Definitely did an awesome job on this because if he would have used earth tones in the back, you would have lost the character into the background.
Yep.
But by using jewel tones in the back, and pastels, you make the earth tones of the character pop on the front.
Yeah, and
No.
he desaturated the blacks in the background too, which helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a nice little trick that I'm going to have to try.
Yeah. So the desaturation on this one works compared to the cat and mouse cover. Here it really works. Cat and mouse cover, it kind of worked, but not quite as well as this one. Now the other intriguing thing is the I don't know if this was drawn in or not, but the lightning in the background just adds that extra little punch.
Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, that's again. I think that's a desaturation. That kind of purplish color behind it, pinkish purple. We got screaming in the background. That's wonderful. I think that's also part of that was part of the original drawing. I think. So yeah, he's desaturated that as well.
Yeah, it's just a hint of Kirby Crackle there.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Nice, nice. I love Kirby Crackle.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of, there's Kirby Crackle.
I actually have Procreate brushes that are Kirby Crackle brushes.
Yeah, I have Photoshop ones that do the same thing. It's pretty cool.
Martin, you want to start this one off?
Obsolete. Sure. Well, again, we got the tilt. So we got a dynamic 1-point perspective happening where everybody's launching out. I think we've got great color contrasts. Everybody can be well read. I'm going to say this is probably the most comic booky comic cover that we've looked at, in the sense of the colors are very, very bright and poppy. But yeah, I think this one nails it for color contrasts and for dynamics. It's very good. I think the only thing that I would maybe critique a little bit on this is the obsolete's title across the top seems a little bland color-wise. Like it feels like it needs just a little something. Like I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what.
I would
something, but other than that,
I would put a graduated tone in it.
Yeah,
I would graduate the tone from yellow at the top to red at the bottom.
Yeah, something. Just a little.
Give it a graduated tone. Yeah, and for those not aware, this is a cover I drew. So.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, this is.
I'm not sure who inked it, but.
Excellent job. Like,
thank you.
I really don't have any complaints on this one. This one is.
I don't either.
Compositionally.
We have the classic always works triangle.
Yep.
Which is a focusing point, and it comes down to. And I also like the way that the colorist did color holds it down towards the bottom, down here, and then gradually. Back up to black up here in the background.
That's a nice piece of work. Yeah, that's nicely done. Yeah. That really accents the whole thing. Yeah,
because the brightness is down here with the color holds, and then the darkness is up here with the regular inked outlines and stuff like that. That works really well for me, and I love color holds. It's my new passion in my own coloring. But yeah, and then we got the Kirby Crackles,
yeah. No, I think this cover works great. So,
I didn't even know that was your cover, Rob.
Yeah, that's one of that Roland assigned me to. And if you've seen the interior, Aaron Humphrey's work is very cartoonish. So I kind of went for that. I went that direction, but I pulled it a little more realistic. So
yes, it blends well. It's a nice
robot. Yeah, the robot looks like he was fun to draw.
He was interesting. You're trying to follow exactly what's inside the book. So the design of the character. Sometimes when you do a cartoony thing, and you try and render it more realistically, it doesn't translate. This one did. It came okay. So
for some reason, I'm really liking the way that this coat falls right here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It brings the eyes down here to the explosion. That's really brilliant.
This was a lot of fun to draw. It really was. The foreshortening, and so what's interesting is that I can tell you is I drew each one of these characters separately, and then put them on tracing paper and moved them around until it was right, and then transferred it to the actual pencils.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
and I had to blow them up and shrink them down a little bit to get the sizes right, and that was it's fun in this digital age to be able to do that on the computer and get it composed properly, then print it out and put it on a light table and do it when I do the physical. But of course, you can do all that, in the computer itself if you're doing it all in the computer.
One of the things I'm really enjoying about digital at the moment is that I'm working on issue 4 of Divinity. I'm inking it, and my penciler is absolutely fantastic, but not the greatest at firearms. So the firearm happens to get longer and shorter depending on what panel you're on. So I love the fact that I can outline it's a Mossberg 500 is what is a shotgun. And I love the fact that I can outline it and then I can stretch it a little bit, or compress it a little bit, to make it the right length.
And then ink it and cover that up. Yeah,
that's right.
Because when you stretch it, of course, that will skew the lines. They'll change shape. They'll either get thicker or thinner, depending on how you stretch it. But then you ink over the top of it, and you eliminate all that. So
correct.
That's the great thing about working digitally. Definitely.
Pendulum.
Here we go.
This is very dramatic.
Another dark cover.
It is a little dark.
A lot of black.
That's not me.
No, that's my phone. That's the house phone. That's the landline. Somebody's calling someone's calling to try and sell us something. That's all. That's only calls we ever get on it anymore.
Your car warranty is up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right. I don't even have a car warranty.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So anyway, this cover, yes.
All right, I'm going to turn this over to our colorist here, Martin.
Yeah.
Tear into this here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Drama.
And I don't mean negatively necessarily. I mean, see what's going on here.
We've got drama happening here on this cover. So and I appreciate that, but there's some things here that I think need to happen. One, the colors are all too close in hue. The background is blending into the foreground. I didn't even realize there was a character in the front left corner crouched with his head. I didn't even see that until I looked and I was like, oh, there's somebody there.
My big issue is that the composition goes right up to the top of the page. There's something going on in the background here, but I don't know what it is because it's hidden by the logo.
There's an arm there and a spear or something.
Yeah,
there's some kind of weapon. It's a scythe. This is all covered. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All of that is hidden behind the logo, so it would have benefited from being moved or shrunk. And then, if it were me who was inking this, I would have shrunk the whole thing and then filled out the edges like I did with yours.
Right.
I pulled yours down and then filled in the top.
Yep.
Continued the artwork. I would have shrunk this whole thing.
It worked because there was texture at the top that you could repeat. Yeah, it helped.
I would have shrunk this whole thing down a little bit and then filled out the sides with additional artwork so that we could put the logo up here without losing any of what's going on. Martin? Hello? Martin,
Maybe
come back.
he stepped out for a minute. But anyway, I would agree with him. I do. I think the red and the blue and the yellow kind of help that mid ground character, but not enough. I think they need to be more closer to primary colors. He's right. The hue is too close on everything that's on the cover, but there's a lot of black here too.
I do.
So
I
it
really
needs
do love
something
this.
to help it pop. Yeah,
And now
whatever
I
that
must
is.
die. They put this in red. That's a cute touch. I like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. But it's hard to read what's going on in the background. That's the big problem here. And I think you're right about shrinking it down and adding some to the edges so that you'll get more of what's going on in the background. It's all hinted at, but you can't really read it. So, but yeah, it makes you question, definitely.
Well, this is a remix. This
Mhm.
is a remix too, so it's hard to tell what it was originally set up to do way back when. You know,
Yeah, or is
we
this a
have
new
new
cover?
logos. No, I don't
Oh,
think.
okay.
I'm not sure. I don't think
Yeah.
so. I
Okay.
think this is one of the original covers. So I don't know. You know, we have a new uh we have a new logo, and we have the thing at the top here. So it's hard to say what the original cover had on it, but the current
Yeah,
one hides too much.
they've used the triangle again.
Hmm.
And I think this one could have used a little bit of skew. One that would have helped with the background too. If they'd skewed it a little bit one way or the other, probably more, yeah, probably more that way, so you could see that character behind that shape in the background. So you could see
Yep.
that that's a scythe instead of it being hidden completely.
Is that? Oh, that
So
is a
maybe
scythe.
even skewing this would have helped it a little too.
Yes,
Mm.
I like how the eyes pop out though, and I like this
Mhm.
this
Yeah,
blue. I like that
yeah.
blue edge there.
The contrast works. It needs a little, yeah. It needs a little. Maybe some edge lighting around that mid ground character would have helped because that could, yeah, yeah. There could have been a little more. There is a little bit of it there, but I think that could have been uh, done a little better, emphasized a little more, and that might have brought him out more. They've tried it, but it's somehow it's just not quite enough. So, yeah.
Ooh, I like this
Oh,
cover.
oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like the colors. The colors really work here.
This is a really nice cover. It's got pretty much everything you could want. It's got plenty of room up here for the logo. It's got dramatic action going on. It's got a composition which, with the bullseye, draws your eyes right straight to where you want it to go,
Hmm.
and the red really makes that pop.
Yep, makes it pop. Yep, that and against that blue of there's the complementary colors between the blue and the red and the orange that really make
Hmm.
that the logo even pops. You see the image first. You see the two characters first, and then your eyes pan back and see the sniper and rook, so that it reads just right.
I can see you there, Martin, but you're not showing up. Yep, he tried.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
must have walked away. He probably walked
well,
away.
he's having difficulties connecting again.
Is he? Okay, so he's out and
Mm.
coming back. All right. Yeah, it's not an episode if we don't have some problems.
Yeah, is that for sure?
Some digital problems. I mean, I popped out for a minute too. So
Hmm. I can't find a single thing wrong with this cover, truthfully.
no,
But
not really. Even stylistically, the characters read well. So it's not a style I particularly care for, but it works, and that's all that matters.
that's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, where are we? Teen
Hmm.
Beetle. Just a second. Nope. Hang on. I'm answering Martin. There we go. Okay, you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, the logo doesn't work for me. That's I don't know if it needs a different color or what the deal is, but it doesn't stand out against the back above the image as well as I think it should.
If it were me, I would have gone with a blue background up here where the red is.
Yeah, that would help. Yes,
a light blue.
Yeah, I think that would have helped here. I still think that red. Yeah, I think that would done something because there's too much red up there to the top, and so the teen beetle just kind of disappears. Also, the two characters on the left and the right are I didn't see them until I zoomed in and really looked hard. They don't stand out well for me. They're primary colors, so I think if they'd have gone for a more pure color for each, rather than having so much, it's almost like there's too much blue over the oranges that it kind of washes it out. I would like to have seen a little bit more primary color on that, so they pop a little better. Yeah, I think you're right. That red graduated down into the orange. Kind of that should have been blue. You're right. I think
we definitely have
difference.
Two different pyramids going on here, which I think is a great compositional choice. We have this pyramid coming down to a point here. We have this pyramid here coming up to a point here.
Yeah, so it's an inverted diamond.
Yeah, inverted diamond, and we have, of course,
diamonds,
we have these angles here of the buildings pointing down, and then so that's an interesting composition choice, and it works for me.
Yeah, it's almost perspective, yet not perspective. I mean, the buildings kind of help with that as well, but it's different. Definitely different. That works.
It works.
The composition
works.
The composition works. It's the coloring that kind of lets it down a little bit, I think. And I think you're right. That blue background would have helped, and I think making those two characters on the left and right pop would have helped as well. But
it's definitely
composition wise, spot on.
The face is definitely dramatic enough.
Oh yeah,
that really grabs your attention.
Oh yeah,
yes,
it gets your attention. And plus you're drawn in by all the lines pointing to his chin there, so you're drawn into that. And then you go back out, and that's when you should see those two characters pop, and they just kind of melt into the background, whereas they should pop a little more. At least
even
in my
his
estimation.
face, even his face. Look at this. We got is kind of a V-shaped here, and so everything about this works. Even the top of his hood, it's got this point right here. It's really, really well.
Yeah, even
done.
Behind the logo, it reads. Yeah. So, but yeah, again, I think that it would have helped us a lot if that red to orange graduated tone behind that big character, if it had been blue instead, might have helped. But
Yep. Okay.
Who
did this?
Oh, here
one?
we go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I know this guy.
You know this guy.
Yeah.
I think that putting the cross up here was a brilliant move, because it draws your eyes straight to that point, and that point is the title, Twilight Grim.
Yeah.
I mean, the colors.
I didn't when I did this, I didn't have a real good copy of the logo. I thought it was smaller, so I thought I'd have a little more room up there to work with. But it's I should have pulled the characters down a little bit more and shrunk this just a bit, so that he would still be over the logo, but not quite so prominent. You can't quite read the G in Grim. So,
Crim?
yeah, and Grim. Yeah, it looks like Crim.
Twilight Crim.
Twilight Crim.
Yeah,
yep.
And you've lost a head or two. Is there one here?
Yeah,
is there a head back
there's
here?
one back
Okay,
behind
so
the
you've
logo
lost a
too,
complete head and half a head here.
Yeah.
But other than that, I do like the way that his forearm comes up in front of the logo with that shining cross.
That was
that's
intended.
Nice.
It was intended to go into the logo, but not quite the way it did. I don't know if I did this before I actually saw the logo or that we had or what. But yeah, I would have. Seeing it now, I'm going, yeah, I would have shrunk this, maybe moved him down a little bit more. I'm trying to go for a pyramid again. There's a triangle in there.
Martin, we can hear you now.
Check.
You're here. We can hear you.
Oh, yay! He's back.
Yep. Ooh, there he is. And just in time to tear me apart.
I love the colors of the logo because the red and the yellow just pops.
Yeah.
I think I'm disappointed by whoever's howling behind the Grim is kind of covered up there.
Yeah,
there's another whole face you can't even see.
Yeah. I drew another vampire that's back in behind. But I knew they would be hidden. But
I like the use of primary colors.
Yep.
Because it's the background is just enough to make all of these foreground colors pop. So I think that's really well done. So far, the only bad thing I can say about this is yeah, you're right. We lost a couple of characters back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's me. That...
I don't have much to say about this one though.
Yeah, I said I liked the way that this was glowing because it brought attention to the title Twilight Grim, or in his case Twilight Crim.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I think the only thing that might be throwing me off is the girl in the front. Her feet are getting cut off at the bottom, like so. But,
yeah, again, that would come with if all of it had been shrunk a little bit more. I think all of that would have fit. I think they may have pulled that all down so that they could get the logo in there better. I don't think I originally drew her feet that far.
Yeah, okay, that would make sense.
I think they pulled it down so there's more room to put the logo in. So again, it's on me. So, but like I said, I don't know if I had.
Why not shrink the logo a little bit?
I think it is from the original.
It's still shrunk. The logo is shrunk down.
Yeah.
So the logo's already shrunk down.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I would have taken it further.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's a very readable logo, so I mean, you could take it down a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But after seeing this one, I adjusted the ones that I did after this to give more room for that. So it was a little rusty when I did this one. That's a nice one.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, it works.
Oh yeah, this is one of yours, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I fought with this one for a while, so yeah.
The only thing I think I would complain about is I think the letters should not have been yellow.
Right. Yes.
Yep. I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
But that yellow background really makes everything pop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My only other complaint on this one would be the color of the text for Wolf Hunter. It kind of blends in.
That too.
I had nothing to do. With the actual text coloring. I just colored the image and then the logo.
I would have probably done that in red instead of that kind of washed out green.
Yeah, or something to pop. Well, I can understand why they would go with that green because the green is kind of military.
The
Yeah,
composition
and red
here,
might have blended in with the Union
much,
Jack
yeah.
red.
you have quite a bit of red already going on with between the logo at the top and this stripe in the train down here.
So
Might be too much
green could work against the red. It just needs to be a different green.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, I think it would have helped if it was outlined in black a little bit.
Well, it is a little bit, but heavier.
A heavier line would have helped.
Yes.
Yes.
Heavier line weight on the logo. This has got a composition which is an inverted T.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on that, Rob? It
I like
works.
it. It really that the Union Jack in the background just kind of pulls you straight down into it, and then the train at the bottom spreads it out, and then you come up to the two background characters, so you're drawn into it almost like water splashing into a cup.
Yep.
If you know what I mean.
Right straight down through the main character and into the action at the bottom.
Yeah, and then it splashes up into the two characters, the three characters in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the composition on this.
Yeah, so the composition is great. I think that this is Quentin. So there's Peter Clinton and Quentin Bedwell. So I think this is a Quentin cover. Let's see, or is it?
Is there a logo? Is there a signature?
I'm looking for the signature on it.
On the train, maybe.
Yeah, it's on the train. Yes.
I can't quite read it. I blew it up, but it gets
Peter.
fuzzy.
It's Peter Clinton.
It says,
it's
Peter first. Yeah.
Yep. So and I think I slipped in my signature in there somewhere too.
Yep.
But
Great composition.
Very nice composition. Yeah.
So
well rendered. Yeah.
So the
great.
Yeah. So the color wise, there's some subtleties going on. So I ended up because it's kind of like a little bit of a murder mystery. I made the train red to represent the kind of blood. And then I underlit all the characters with the red.
Yeah.
Yes, I noticed that. Look at this guy's face. Yeah. Everything's underlit.
So it's subtle.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but it's there, right? So then it just because it's underlit. And then I think I added that nice little subtlety on the background character, the bad guy there, where his eyes are in the light but he's in the shadow. I thought that was a cute touch.
On the right. Yes.
So
I like that.
Man, that's me bragging. So,
humble brag.
Yeah, but the one thing that I did that I a little bit regret is the shadow that's on Churchill's face is a little too sharp. It's it needs to be a little bit more faded in. I was going for the flag being like casting a shade on his face.
This one right here.
Yes. It's a little bit too sharp of a. It could have been.
Doesn't follow the contours of his face. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I was doing the flag, but it could have been a little bit more subtle. But
it would have. The shadow should have followed the contours of his face a bit more.
Yeah.
But that was a lot. Really like.
Let's see. You didn't color the letters either. Any of the letters on this cover, right?
No. I just did the picture. Yeah.
So the yellow lettering in the front is not your fault either, quote unquote.
No.
I would have done this in blue as well because we got all the other primaries going: green, yellow, red.
Yeah. I think that would pop. The right shade of blue would pop. Yeah.
I did ask for the trade dress, but they didn't give it to me, so well. But still a great cover. I love it. It turned out well.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Well, and we're back. Hi, David.
Oh, David Rios.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, Wednesday Whammers.
You just barely made it, David. We're down to the wire here. We're just after the hour, so.
Yep. It's just about time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Almost.
Do we want to do one or two more covers, or do we want to?
That was the last cover I had.
That was the last cover you had. Oh, okay.
Well, we made it through them all. Great. That's good.
Which ones? Which one? I missed what? I missed 2 or 3 of them, didn't I?
Yeah,
one
or 2.
You missed one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And came in on the second half of the last half of another.
All right. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, those are our covers of wonderful books.
Oh.
And what are you working on there?
Oh, that's the super secret project. That's what I'm going to be inking.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all that wonderful organic.
Yeah, all that organic detail in the background that you can play with.
Yeah, I mean, I like doing organics because you just sit there and just go.
Yeah, and you can add or subtract to your heart's content. So
So this is an interesting question for you, Rob. So like when you send this over to Barb, what kind of instructions do you give her?
I wait for questions.
You wait for questions.
I wait for questions because she's always got she's very good about asking, what did you mean for this to do? I can't quite read this. What's this supposed to be? Or, it's I drew a gun and she goes, okay, which gun is this? What kind of gun is this? What did you use for reference? And I'm going, I didn't use one. I just kind of made it up. It's loosely based on this.
I am a stickler about firearms.
Which is fine.
My dad has been my dad's a collector, and I'm a stickler about my firearms.
Oh, there you go.
So nice. I have, reference for all kinds of guns. So
I found a site that can do 3D that you can manipulate.
Oh, yes, I need that.
That's kind of cool.
I may ask for that because there are times when I can't find the right picture on the internet that's at just the right angle to help me get it right. So, so I have to extrapolate, and I usually get it pretty close.
You can put in. So far, in Divinity number 4 here, I've looked up Mossberg 500. I've looked up AK-47, Uzi, and see, there's always different years too. That they change years.
Yes, yes, they do.
Designs change years, so you have to maintain consistency throughout. If you're going to put,
or you could just do the. I fear to drop names of big names, but. You could just pull the Rob Liefeld and have the gun be different on every single page.
just make it look big, and it doesn't even have to really work. It doesn't have to have a firing pin or any way for the bullets to get where they need to go. None of that. It just has to look cool.
No, I'm trying to remember if somebody did a comic and the main character or one of the characters. Like every single panel or every single page, they changed their outfit to see if anyone would actually notice. I can't remember. I read about this somewhere, and it was like,
they did it on purpose.
Yeah. It was intentional. But like,
I've seen it done unintentionally before.
They kept the same color scheme throughout, right? So then what happens is like you're reading it and like they did it on. So until they mentioned it, you go back and read it, and you're like, "Oh, they changed." And you're like, "Wow, okay." Like once you actually realize, but like, there's things where they do stuff, and you don't even cognitively realize that they're changing stuff. Once you're engaged, you don't necessarily even notice. Like so in the case of Rob Liefeld guns, like if you were to go and look at some of his books, like the gun from page 1 to page 16. It's completely different. And you're like, well, okay, but it still resembles sort of what he started with, right? You're like, okay.
And me, I'm like sending notes to my pencilers or my penciler and my writer, my scripter, RA. Like, just remember, Zach is a Marine, so a Marine standard issue firearm is a Sig Sauer M18 or M16. I can't remember. So yeah, I am M18. It's a Sig Sauer M18 is standard issue firearm or sidearm pistol.
Yeah, sidearm.
Yeah. So yes, so I'm super picky about my firearms.
See, that's the thing too. We a lot of times we kind of count on the inker to a good one will catch things like that and go, He drew this gun a little off, but it's actually it looked like this early on. I'm going to fix it further back in the book. But yeah, but if you're under the gun and have to do it quickly, that's a whole different deal. You have to kind of throw it out there and run with it.
It's got the vague shape of a firearm. You know, people will know. Their subconscious will feel it in. Oh yeah, that's a gun.
Yeah.
So.
Now, later on in this secret project, I am going to have to make notes because I have moved panels around, and she has the script.
Yes.
So, because there was one page just had so many panels jammed in it, and so many balloons and captions that I had no room to draw anything. So I kind of stretched. I squeezed a couple of pages early on together. And I stretched out a couple of pages later on. So I'll have to note where everything goes for her and for the letterer to be sure to put the balloons in the right places.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a little more work for myself, but at the same time, I expanded, gave myself a little more room to play with once I get to that page. So, and that's part of what you do as an artist. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Artistic license. What were you holding up, Martin? You were holding up the cover of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Sorry, no. Yeah. So this was we did a second version of Wolf Hunter. This is the classic version. This is another Steve Butler cover, and I colored this one too. So, but this is actually, I would say, perfect compositional cover right here.
Yep.
Like,
skewed.
You're drawn right into it. Yep.
It's skewed. It's got dynamic action. It's got. It's simple. It's clear.
Got a C shape there, composition, and everything is very dynamic.
And
perfect.
And this time the logo pops. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I still think it needs a little bit heavier outline around it.
Yes, probably.
Yeah. I do too.
Yep.
So
all right, folks. We have more than enough our hour. Yes, we managed to fill a whole hour of nonsense. And
yeah.
Well, I think the first time we did this, we had 2 hours.
So oh wow!
We
did
do 2 hour shows back then, but yeah.
So all right. So go ahead, Barb.
And we did not just our own covers. We spanned a whole bunch of covers, but we decided just to pick on ourselves this time.
Yeah.
Because
so folks, Trump's was in previews, and now we have our second book in previews, which was what?
Kalis number 1.
Kalis number 1. So you can now get your physical copies in comic book stores. Go hound them. Tell them to get the books. And
tell them you want all the Silverline books.
We have so many books. I can't. I'm shocked at how many books we actually have. So
we've been doing this for like 5 years, so we've gotten quite the inventory.
Yes.
Built up.
So So if you guys are fed up with the other guys, come find us.
Still working.
Fun adventure tales, and we run the gamut from the perfect dad comic to the kids comics to everything in between.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close this out. And as we like to say every week at the end of one of our episodes, make mine Silverline.
Silverline
all right.
comic.
Whoops, wait a minute. I got to find the end here. Bye, everyone.
Hi, my name is Paul Kupperberg. Make mine Silverline.